I've said it before and I'll say it again, there is no such thing as a gimme with the Philadelphia Eagles. You know that saying, defense wins championships? Well, we have the defense, but our quarterback keeps throwing the ball to the other team. At first I thought, okay, he's a little rusty because he didn't play the last 2 preseason games. He just needs to get his rhythm back. Oh no, he kept making poor choices, staring down receivers and throwing into double, sometimes triple coverage. Ooh, no wonder he kept getting picked. Essentially, all the Browns' points came off of Eagles' turnovers. I'm worried that the Eagles are up to their same old trick, like they're getting some type of enjoyment out of torturing me season after season. We led the league last season in turning the ball over, and we didn't waste any time this season regaining that title. Before the first quarter even ended, we already racked up 2 turnovers. Okay, LaShawn McCoy, he's not known to fumble, and I'm gonna take that as a one-time fluke. But my boy, Michael Vick, what is up? He went on throwing pick after pick after pick to the point where I was quivering every time he wound up to throw the ball. And thank goodness the Browns defense dropped that almost interception during the Eagles' 4th quarter final drive. It would have been game over. The reason why Browns receivers look so good this game is because Michael Vick was staring down his receivers like Cyclops from the X-Men. You stare down a receiver that hard, of course defenders are going to be all over it. Even I could cover Deshaun Jackson if that's the case. I could do it. Come on now, how about looking off the defenders so they don't jump the routes and sprinkle in some pump fakes while you're at it? If our offense plays like this next week against Baltimore, we're gonna get demolished because Ray Lewis will not be dropping any easy interceptions like the Browns secondary did. Okay, maybe I'm being a little bit harsh on Vic. You know, we get all emotional over these small instances within a game and forget to look at the full scope. Afterwards, when I was looking at some of the other teams play and noticed how much time all these other quarterbacks like Drew Brees and Peyton Manning have in the pocket, it's not fair to put all the blame on Vic. We have to toughen up that O-line and protect our quarterback so he doesn't have to make these rushed throws. I hope we tighten things up and get it together next week. So when looking at all the detail, if you remove the 4 interceptions, we'd be telling a whole different story about Vic this week, with 317 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. To put things into perspective, Aaron Rodgers had 303 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. So Vic wasn't that horrible. Okay, yeah, the 4 interceptions we can't ignore. And remember, the last time Vic actually posted 4 interceptions was last season against Buffalo. And we all remember that heartbreaking loss where we blew it in the 4th quarter. Jaquay freaking Parker! Oh my gosh. I'm gonna take it as a good sign that our offense was actually able to come through with the win while playing ugly. So remember guys, we gotta look at the full scope. Let's not throw Michael Vick out the window just yet and call in our savior Nick Foles. I know it's hard, but we have to stay calm and see what else the Eagles are gonna bring this season. Yes, I'll admit it, I was going crazy throughout this game. So a constant theme that's always brought up from Philly fans, and I'll admit it, I'm always the first to say we gotta run the ball. What's wrong with Andy Reid? Why won't he run the ball? Well, Dave Spadaro from Eagles Live brought up a great point. We actually did try and run the ball in the first half. Every time McCoy would run and gain some yards, they would be negated by a penalty. So then we were forced to throw the ball to make up for lost yardage. Again, when you put things into perspective, you can't put all the blame on Andy. 12 penalties for 110 yards really screwed up with our rhythm and game plan. On the positive side of things, DeMeco Ryans really made his presence known on defense by stuffing Trent Richardson on a few occasions. There were some question marks about him during the preseason, but I don't think anybody's questioning him now. Also, Kurt Coleman and DRC each came through with a pair of interceptions. DRC could have had a DR3 hat trick, but dropped a nearly interception that was right in his hands. And my boy Jason Babin hasn't missed a step coming off of that calf injury by starting out the season with a sack and forced fumble. The Eagles actually closed out a 4th quarter with a game-winning drive. How many times did we see last season where we had fourth quarter game-winning drives and we fell short? So I'm happy to see that we're actually coming out with a W this time. So by now, we know that our Eagles play up and down to the competition, so I'm not too concerned about this sloppy game. I'm just happy we won. And I anticipate that Eagles are going to come out strong to match Baltimore's defense next week. Make sure to subscribe and stay tuned because I'll be posting my Week 2 pregame analysis in a couple of days. This is Delia with the PhiladehliaEagles.com signing off. E-A-G-L-E-S Eagles!